Okay, now we're going to go ahead and download and install the tools for Visual Studio for Amazon. So the first thing we'll do is download the software, and then we'll run through the installation procedure. So we'll go ahead and find the link for the AWS Toolkit for Visual Studio and go ahead and go to the Amazon website, and there'll be a link on the right hand side that says AWS Toolkit for Visual Studio. So I'll go ahead and select that for the download. It'll take just a few seconds to download. It's not a terribly big download. So there we go. So I'll go ahead and kick off the installation procedure and let that start up for just a second. So out of this, I'll just select Next. I'll accept the license agreement and terms and conditions. Let me clean up a couple of extra windows here. Select Next. And the defaults are fine here, which really basically selects all the software options. So I typically take all the options for this, so I recommend that you do the same. And I'll go ahead and click Install. So now it's running through the install process, and when it completes, you should see a new window within Visual Studio that's a window for the Amazon AWS Toolkit. And within that window, you can launch servers, you can stop and start servers. Basically, you have access to all the Amazon services inside Visual Studio, so it's really an incredible tool. And it doesn't take a terribly long time to install. So I'll go ahead and let this finish up. And once it finishes up, we'll go ahead and start up Visual Studio. And under the view window, you'll see a new Amazon Explorer window that's accessible within Visual Studio. So that's how you know the software has been successful. And then once you have completed the installation, you'll need to generate some keys and credentials to actually have access within Visual Studio to the Amazon Toolkit. So I'll show you that process in the next lesson. And then after that, we'll go ahead and build our Hello World Amazon program and deploy that ASP.NET MVC solution into the Amazon cloud directly from Visual Studio. So really some great tools that Amazon has. They also have great documentation out on their website that supports all of this, and I'll also show you some of that as well. So I'll go ahead and let this install finish up, and then we'll go on to the next steps. So the install has now just finished, so I'll select Finish. And now at this point, we can go ahead and start up Visual Studio now that our installation is complete. So I'll go ahead and do that. And it'll take just a few seconds for Visual Studio to start up since we now have installed some new software. So we'll wait for this to come up. And there we go. So now, if we look under the File menu, it's taking just a minute for Visual Studio to respond here. So let me go ahead and drag the window down. So under View, notice now that I have the AWS or Amazon Web Services Explorer. So that's how we know that our installation has been successfully completed. And in the next step, then I'll show you how to add a new account profile. We'll need some information from Amazon to complete the access key ID, the secret access key, and account number. So I'll show you that in the next step, and then I'll also show in the next lesson, and also how we can use the AWS Explorer within Visual Studio to get some work done in Amazon. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next lesson.